From 1955 to 1975, the Soviet Union and the United States of America had a tense competition in scientific innovation known as the space race. Between 1957 and 1963, the Soviets managed to put the first satellite in space, first man in space, and the first woman in space. But in 1969, the United States landed Apollo 11 on the moon and became the first nation to ever achieve a moon landing. The rivalry in space left a technological legacy of increased space-related development and advances. It sparked increases in spending on education and research and development into scientific fields like physics and engineering. But what if I told you that it wasn't just the United States and Soviets competing for space superiority, and that there was actually a third party trying to make a name for themselves? And that third party was Zambia. Hey everybody, welcome to History University. My name is Tom, and today we're going to talk about Edward Mukaku Nkoso's plans of landing on the moon and his men, which he called the Afronauts. Honestly, this true story kind of reminds me of Cool Runnings, when the Jamaicans are thinking about having a bobsledding team. But instead of the Jamaicans, it's the Zambians talking about having a space program. The story starts off in 1960, when Edward Mukaku Nkoso, a Northern Rhodesian World War II vet and schoolteacher, founded the Zambian National Academy of Science, Space Research, and Philosophy. This program sought to accomplish the launching of a rocket that would send a 17-year-old girl named Martha Mwamba and 2 cats to the moon. Nkoso even planned a trip to Mars and hoped to compete with the United States and Soviet Union's respective space programs at the height of the space race. Nkoso would train his men to feel the feeling of weightlessness, which they used a tire swing to simulate this experience. Nkoso's stated goals of the program were to establish a Christian ministry for the primitive Martians. He also hoped to become the controllers of the 7th heaven of interstellar space. He reportedly instructed the missionaries in the space program not to force Christianity on the native Martian inhabitants. He wanted them to choose Christianity in a peaceful way. Nkoso's rocket was named Dikalu-1, and it was a drum-shaped vessel. He claimed his vessel was made out of aluminum and copper, and that it was space-worthy. The planned launch was on October 24, 1964, but he was denied permission from his government for being too dangerous. He then asked UNESCO for a grant of 7 million Zambian pounds to support his space program. It is also said that he requested $1.9 billion from private foreign sources, but unfortunately for Nkoso, none of his private foreign sources were able to pay him. Nkoso stated the program did not succeed due to lack of funds, his female astronaut leaving the program, and low morale due to media attention. While it wasn't a storybook ending for Nkoso, he's etched his name in the history books as a man who dreamt big. The story reminds me of the saying, out of sight, out of mind. If something is out of your sight, you won't spend too much time thinking about it. Conversely, if something is visible for us to see, it will become a part of our thoughts. This is exactly what the space race did. While the US and Soviets were competing to build up their space programs, the concept of space travel and aliens started to pop up everywhere. In the 1950s to the 1970s, space became a big part of popular culture. And in some cases, it led people like Nkoso to emulate what they were seeing. In other cases, it filled the minds and dreams of young school children everywhere. Now we have a new generation of visionaries like Nkoso who are inspired by the scientific achievements of the Soviets and the Americans. The legacy of the space race continues with the likes of Musk, Branson, and Bezos, as they have created corporations with the intent of furthering the knowledge of the cosmos. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you can. I'll see you next time.